Oh yeah, it's the end of October, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm here basically in the middle of nowhere. You must be wondering why I am standing here, right? I sold my Kia Soul very recently. I made a decision because I was not happy with the car anymore, with what it was serving for me as a purpose. I got out of university, I became a fresh grad, got a full-time job immediately after uni, and I needed something what was more towards my own personal needs, being more independent. And with a car which is an EV with a short range, this was absolutely not possible. I said when I bought my Kia Soul that I don't want to deal anymore with a used car because I have huge trust issues with people who are selling used cars, because there could be anything what's going on with them. When I was looking for a few cars, I had no particular body type in my mind. I was just looking for something what was considered as an upgrade from my Kia Soul, and it needed one specific thing: a manual transmission. So I was in the search for a couple of different cars. Like, the first one I was test driving was an Isuzu D-Max. Yes, you might be wondering, why a pickup truck? Well, why not? I like the way how they look like, and also you could get a full spec Isuzu D-Max with a manual transmission. But I didn't go for one in the end because, well, I basically have a pickup truck at home, don't I? Another car which came into my mind was a Hyundai i20N. Yes, it is the smaller brother of the i30N, but it comes at a much more attractive cost. I did a test drive in that one, and I found out the suspension was way too firm for my liking. And of course, the seats weren't as comfortable as I imagined they would be. So this one had to go as well. And then in the end, I found out that one of my very long lost loves got a manual transmission in that version. I did the test drive with the hatchback. It was an automatic, and I fell in love again with that car. But I didn't like the hatchback. And then I did a test drive in the sedan. And when I did a test drive in the sedan, I found out this was it. I want that car. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to my brand new car. The Mazda 3 Sedan! Yes, I got myself a brand new Mazda 3 Sedan. This car, yes, this particular car is one of the rarest you can ever find in this whole country. You might be wondering, it's just a Mazda 3, right? But let me tell you one thing. First of all, in Switzerland, sedans are super rare. No one except Southeastern Europeans like me and other South Europeans, or people who are not from Europe, enjoy driving them. And obviously those people are here in the minority. So that's one thing. Second of all, the paint job, well, it's deep crystal blue, and most people, they like to go for a black, or like also a very popular color, the polymetal gray, or even more popular, the soul red. But I went for this one because, well, soul red has problems with the paint, that it chips very quickly, especially in the front. And also the other colors, I don't think that they are that beautiful. I think platinum quartz must be a good option if you want to get something what is not so much of a color but more of a contrast. But I just wanted something blue because that was the only other color in that sense apart from the soul red. This is the only full spec manual transmission sedan in Switzerland. I was one of the first people who bought it because no one has the idea to buy a brand new car with a manual transmission as a sedan. Most people, they want more comfort. My personal opinion is that for this car, the manual transmission is superior because it has just a much nicer feel when it shifts, and of course it is a more fun to drive vehicle that way. With the automatic, it is okay lah, but what should I say? It's not the most refined and the bestest automatic. I just had the feeling like when I was driving the automatic, it was a bit weird and I didn't have the control over the vehicle. So that's why this is a manual. All right, enough waffling why I bought this. So let me show you around the car and give you a quick tour. So because this is a sedan, it has a much sleeker look, and obviously it has a much thinner C-pillar compared to the hatchback version. And I never owned a sedan car before because, first of all, they're very hard to come by here in Switzerland. Second of all, I prefer to have a different brand than a German premium brand. And you might be asking yourself, why didn't I go for a different car which is also existing as a sedan elsewhere? Well, I thought about the Toyota Corolla, but first of all, it only exists as a hybrid. That means CVT ProleteR. And second of all, there is no sedan version in Switzerland. So this came totally out of the question. Honda Civic, same story, CVT ProleteR, and no sedan anymore here in Switzerland. It really sucks, right? And that's why I think like this was the only other option. Of course, there is like the Mercedes A-Class, the Audi A3 and the BMW 2 Series Grand Coupe, like in that class. I could have gone also for a D-segment sedan like a Toyota Camry or BMW 3 Series, but I didn't because I wanted something smaller, much more compact, and this is it. It is a premium looking car. It can deal easily with the German marks, but the problem is that the German marks are much more expensive. So I would have spent around 20k Swiss francs more for a German counterpart than for this Mazda.
Just before I forget to mention, yeah, we're going to get soon into that. It's an e-Skyactiv-X. So in other markets like in North America, in Asia, in Africa, in South America, wherever, just in Europe and in Japan, you got the Skyactiv-X engine, and this one is also with a mild hybrid because emissions Liao. So we get soon into that, but let me show you the boot. In order to open up, you got here a button. And I was first of all afraid that I was going to bang into the glass, but actually it's pretty safe. And also it has like those plastic rails, which are also protecting here the things in the interior. So anyway, yeah, this is for my tripod, and you can see I got here a couple of things, and the boot is really deep. Yeah, here you got the subwoofer, and there is the latch for the seats, which you can fold 60-40 split. And you can see here, this is one of the stuff what I got with my car when I bought it. It is those cloth mats, and I don't want to use them right now because it's the winter season coming, and I got here for that reason the boot floor with rubber, and I got floor mats also in rubber, so in order not to make the interior dirty, because obviously it's a car which you need to cherish. And here, this is one of my first free gift. Yeah, free gift, a Malaysian's favorite, as I say, an umbrella with the Mazda logo. And when I open this up, you can see here there is a bit of storage. There is the warning triangle, the tire repair kit, and a couple of hooks. And in order to close the boot, you don't need to smash it down. You have here, for that purpose, the handle, and then you throw it down and the boot is closed. One thing what I also really like, what many Japanese cars don't have, is a click to open fuel flap or fuel door. And as you can see, minimum run 95, and it can handle E5 and E10. So if you're in Germany and in France, you can fuel up with E10. Seeing it from a side profile angle, I must say that I'm so much in love with this car because it looks so sleek and so elegant, but at the same time very sporty. And those 18-inch rims, I mean, they are not like super special, but I think like they're not in that very obvious silver or dark gray color. It's just in a perfect mix right in between. They look really neat. And also like the chrome accents. Yes, many people, they love to do a chrome delete, but let me tell you, I like chrome because it makes the car appear a lot newer than it already is. And you can see the rear windows are tinted, and I suggest we go into the back and then I can show you how it looks like from the inside. As you can see, window switch, door handle, door lock, and a relatively good sized door bin. Like you can fit even a bigger bottle inside. Here I got a 0.5 liter, and there you got a bit of storage as well. Overall, it looks really nice, and I got the car with the leather seats, and here in Switzerland the leather seats are an option, and I must say the color looks really nice. Like, I'm not a bit too much of a fan of black seats, but I must say they look really nice. And yeah, they're not like totally black, like here they are perforated and it looks a bit of brownish. In terms of amenities, you have here the center armrest with 2 cup holders, and that's the end of that. Yeah, there's also another storage pocket. In the driver's side there is none, and here you can see the rubber floor mats. They look pretty good. They do not look tacky. They look just like as if they would fit the car.
It is not as easy as you might think to get in, but obviously I feel pretty comfortable in here with my 178 centimeters. I have like around 4 fingers of headroom left. Like, it is roomier than the hatchback, and obviously it's not as gloomy here inside when you're sitting in here because you have a gray headliner. It looks a lot classier than the black one, even though the black one would have looked also really neat, but I'm not complaining. I think you need a bit more room in this car, and this is also something what I really enjoy. The only thing what's a little bit bad is that I do not have much legroom. It's like around 1 fist, and like if someone is taller than me and sitting behind me, this person will not have a very comfortable time driving with me. But I have the feeling, the subjective feeling, that you have more space in the sedan than in the hatchback.
Now let's get into the front, and as you can see, it has a little button or button-ish like touch sensor where you can lock your car, and if you want to unlock it, you just put your hand behind the rail and you pull it, and then you can open it up. And this is also possible for the passenger side, but for the rear doors cannot. Okay, as you can see, this is the door panel here for the driver's side. Lock unlock, Bose sound system with 12 speakers, mirror controls, power folding mirrors, and all 4 windows are automatic up and down with a window lock. And the storage space here, well, I must say it is pretty decent as well. Like, I can fit here 2 bottles, like 2 small bottles, or I can fit also a larger bottle as well. And here's also a little bit of a storage space as well. And the driver's seat, you can only get it with the leather seats, that the driver's seat is electrically adjustable, 10-way, like lumbar support, seat back, seat height, and seat cushion, and position front and back. What I do not like that much about the seats, well, this car doesn't even have 300 kilometers and it has already a couple of creases, so I don't know what to do with that. It really sucks. It is what it is. And of course, because it's an electric seat, you have 2 functions for memory, and here's the set button. Here's a little compartment, so you can put here like a tag for tolls, or like maybe some other smaller objects which have no useful purpose around the cabin, maybe your car keys, I don't know. This is the 360-degree camera. I don't know what this is. I'm going to look it up and then I'm going to write it down right here. Parking sensors on off, ESP off, and the iStop AK's automatic start-stop system off. This is the steering wheel. You have here all your controls, volume, seek, track, source, mute, the phone call buttons, and also the voice commands, information display, speed limiter, lane keep assist, cruise control, and it of course has like the radar cruise control, cancel, reset, set plus, set minus. The engine start stop button, the automatic dual zone climate control, heated steering wheel, heated seats, turning off the aircon, and of course here the controls like AC, then the recirculation, the fan speed plus minus, the modes, the front defrost and rear defrost. And this one is for sync if you want to have the same temperature all around the cabin and not the dual zone setting. Behind the cup holder is the Qi wireless charging pad and a little bit of storage right behind it. You might be wondering why the center console and the doors are still covered in the foil. Well, let me tell you one thing. It is because of piano black plastics. And piano black plastics are absolutely bad in terms of scratches. You just look at them and they're immediately scratched. So I keep them like this until I get like PPF in order to protect the piano black plastics so that it doesn't get scratched and still looks brand new even after a couple of years, because I do not want to buy a brand new car and then looking like shit in the very near future. And as you can see, this is the manual transmission. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and for reverse you push it down and then into the top left corner. And it feels like as if it's an MX-5 shifter because it's so quick to respond. It is very sharp. Feels almost like a short shifter, I'm not going to lie here. Apart from all the other ADAS features, it also has auto hold for a manual transmission car. It is absolutely superb. And of course, standard across range, the electronic parking brake. This is for the sat nav and for the whole infotainment system. Gonna show that very soon. With radio controls, seek track, volume, up and down, turning on and off. And of course, this is the favorite button. It has a frameless mirror, absolutely sharp. It has all around LED lights, and here's the sunglass holder, the panic call button, and even the mirrors. Yeah, got the card holder, and they are also in LED on both sides. Gotta admit, this is very premium for this car, and I think it just looks so good. Opening up the center console goes like this. You press the button here, push it back, and then pull it up. As simple as that. Or you can even leave it like here. Push it front, back. It has like a couple of different settings, like 3 different ones. Yeah, you can see it even here in the latches. And when you look here inside, there is a little divider here where you can push this one further back in order to create more space here on the inside. And it has 2 USB-C ports and a 12-volt socket, so you can plug in even more USB ports or some other things like a cooling box. And down here is the SD card slot for the sat nav. Now let's open up the glove box. Wait a second. It has a soft opening mechanism, airbag on-off for the passenger side, great for babies. And here I got the booklet with all the service books and so on. This is another free GIFA from my dealership. Got a tire profile measurement tool and also a couple of fake coins for the shopping carts. And of course this little thingy here for the nationality, because if you go abroad in Switzerland you need to have this. Because Switzerland is not part of the EU, we need to put this on our cars when we go abroad in non-EU countries or even in a couple of EU countries, because like Italy is one of those countries, they can basically fine you for whatever reason. And yeah, it happened a couple of times that it was like that. This is a 7-inch speedometer, and I think it looks absolutely sharp. It looks like as if it's a real one. You would not even give it that it is a digital one. Like only the middle part is digital, the rest is actual physical. So you can see here, if I press on the info button, it changes here to the ADAS. Then you got here just a speedometer, no other options visible. And here with the trip computer you see 6.4 liters per 100 kilometers, which is a really good fuel consumption for this kind of car. Also because it's brand new, it consumes a bit more. As you can see, I've driven only 277 kilometers. I picked it up 3 days ago with 16 kilometers and I've been driving it day in and day out. It's so much fun. And you see here the remaining range, 13 degrees. This is the infotainment screen, and it shows the fuel consumption so far, what you have during your drive and what you have like currently in total. And in order to go back into the menu, just press here the home button, or you have here the back button. This is for navigation, this is for music. And it goes like this. This is for up and down, left, right, up, down, or yeah. You will see. And also here is for pressing inside the menu. All right, let's go back. This is the main menu, and here's the information. That's where we've been. So you can even check here the car status, like when is the next service, or there's a next oil change, and also what kind of other things there are, like what's the engine temperature, the tire pressure. Very, very simple to use, and it's also very responsive screen. This is the entertainment system, so you got FM, AM, DAB, Bluetooth, USB 1 and 2, Android Auto, and audio off, so the audio is currently turned off. And there is the communication with here the phone stuff, like you can make calls and see SMS, which is pretty nice. This is the navigation, and it is a pretty decent one, I'm not going to lie here. Yeah, you can see here, it is basically Europe. Here you go inside the settings. Can do various different things, even with the ADAS stuff. And for going down, you have Apple CarPlay, but I do not have an iPhone, so I go into Android Auto, and as you can see, here is Google Maps, here is Spotify, and it is, well, one thing, what is different compared to previous versions of Mazda 3, it is a touchscreen unit, and that's also one of the reasons why I left the screen protector or the screen foil on the car. So this is one thing what I find really good, and yeah, if you're standing in the traffic and the car is not moving, or when you're parked, you can just use this infotainment system as well. Okay, I turned off the ignition. Let's pop the bonnet and see what the car is like in terms of engine. So there is the latch right here. Wait a second. Oh, it's very heavy, and as you can see, it has only one stick. It's not with bonnet struts, so give me just a quick second. Yes, this is the e-Skyactiv-X engine. It produces 186 horsepower. Despite for it being a non-turbo engine, I think it picks up pretty well, and this is mostly due to the reason that it is a very specific type of engine, because it is a petrol engine, but it works like a diesel, so it ignites the sparks by itself with a higher compression ratio, and it is a very complicated setup overall. And this is a different type of cover for the engine than I'm what normally used to, and you see it is very complicated tech. But I must say that Mazda knows what kind of stuff they're doing, and it is a new engine there, but they're using it already for 4 years already, so this is absolutely proven stuff which is not going to break. And the dealer was so confident with the engine that he even told me that I do not even need to run in the engine properly, blah blah blah, because Mazda tests their engines even in their plant in Japan, and I totally trust on that. But of course I'm a bit more cautious when the car is brand new, so I'm not going to push it to its limits. Yeah, I'm going to treat it like a normal daily for the first couple of kilometers, and then later on I'll see what I do. You must be wondering right now, what did I pay for this car? Let me tell you this thing. First of all, this engine is something what's different from all the other engines, but it is not much more expensive compared to the engines which are with Skyactiv-G or even the Skyactiv diesel, which is unfortunately not being sold anymore in Europe. I paid for this car 41,700 Swiss francs. For that kind of money, what I paid, I got a state-of-the-art engine, I got leather seats, I got power adjustable driver's side seat, I got a sunroof, I got Bose sound system, I got Matrix LED headlamps, and I must say you got so much kit compared to the competition, which offers much less at the same price point. Or if you want to have it at the same spec, you need to top up a lot more, and I think this car is a great buy, and I don't think that I could have gotten anything what's better than that. Maybe the Hyundai i30N would have been a really good contender, but I think that the fuel consumption of around 8.5 liters is just way too much for a daily driver, whereas this thing can get for the NEDC cycle around 5.1 liters. Get that figure with 186 horsepower, front wheel drive, an NA engine with a manual. It's mind-boggling. It's absolutely amazing. I got a couple of plans what I want to do with this car, so yeah, as you can see, the paint, well, I want to protect it, so PPF is in question, and also a couple of interior accessories like the rubber mats so that the interior plastics do not get scratched, the interior PPF. I didn't even show the keys. That's the way how the key fob looks like. The controls are here on the back. Lock, unlock, and boot. There's no remote engine start, and it looks really sleek, but I think that the plastics are a bit scratchy, and
cheap. So this needs also a key cover. Actually 2 of them because I have 2 keys. But yeah, those are like the minor things, like except for the PPF, that's going to be a bigger job and it's also going to be quite expensive. But I think even though this is an economy car, I think it's worth it because this car is way too precious to just let it rot. Because I mean, deep crystal blue, sedan, manual, like it is a great thing to drive, and I must say it deserves all the love it needs.
Oh yeah, actually one feature what I want to point out a lot is, it was actually a deal breaker for me, but I'm glad in this case it works. The rear windows,
have a look at them. They go all the way down. Absolutely nice. So what do you guys think of this car? Do you think it is a worth buying car, or do you think I should have gone for something else? Write it down in the comment section below. I must say I love this whip. It is absolutely amazing and I really cannot wait to do more things on it, because this car is one thing what I never thought I could ever buy, primarily because I didn't know it was a manual transmission car. And in order to say goodbye to you, let me sit in back, take in my hat and say auto, tweak, manual is the best. Stay tuned and I hope to see you the next time. Bye bye.